Howdy friends, welcome to Post to Post. If you're new, my name is Neil. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today, we're looking at your concepts. That's one thing we like to do here on the channel. Specifically, every Friday we look at jersey concepts from you guys in the community, the designers, the graphic designers, the jersey designers, whatever. That's a great day. But also we look at logos and uniforms and other things as well. Basically, whatever you guys want to submit. Now, they don't have to be completely professional concepts, whether it's jerseys, logos, or whatever. This video is a really good example of some really unrefined logos. These are hand-drawn logos, very unrefined logos, but with a lot of potential. Like, there's a lot of great ideas, maybe just not so much execution. I don't mean that to sound negative for the designer today, and that is Edward, but as you'll see as we go through, there's some execution things that could be tidied up a little bit, but this is really about the idea. The thought of a design or concept that comes to mind and you want to put it down on paper, and you don't really care if it's perfect, just to get the idea down on paper. That's what this is about, because not everyone can draw. Including me, Edward. I'm not yelling at you from my castle. I can't draw. So, I mean, a lot of your concepts are way better than I could ever do. Let's get into them. I have ranked these from 1 to 32. Let's start off with my least favorite, number 32. I'm just going to bring it up here on my screen. And that's the Montreal Canadiens. So as we go through these guys, the viewers, you guys, I would love for you to leave your feedback down below in the comment section, either at the end of the video or continue with comments, or just leave a comment open. You can just keep adding it to it. But leave some feedback for Edward here and tell me what you like and don't like about each logo, or if you don't have enough time and you just want to watch, that's totally fine as well. But I decided to put Montreal last here just because I felt like it was too circular. Right now, the Montreal Canadiens is a letter, and it is circular in a way, but it defines something. I don't feel like there's enough definition here. It looks like the globe, and that is also part of their history in a way. They've used a bit of a globe logo in the past, way back in the day, but I feel like there's not enough definition here. It's just too generic maybe, and I don't mean generic in a bad way. I just mean I feel like I'm missing something, so that's really why I put this last. Number 31, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and to me this is just kind of an awkward shape. The C is in there. I see the C. I like the flag interpretation, and like this got the flag influence in there obviously, but it's just kind of an awkward shape. Like, I'm not exactly sure what it is as a whole. And to me, it's just throwing me off a little bit. It almost looks like an egg with the yolk and then the whites around it. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of an awkward shape. And for that reason, I just kind of ranked it low. Number 30, the Colorado Avalanche. I can't tell exactly what's going on here. I can see that there's probably some mountains here, and I can see an avalanche coming down. But I don't know what the definition is within the burgundy section on the left and the right. I don't know if there's, I see a C for Colorado, and I can kind of see an A on the right-hand side for Avalanche, but it almost looks like eyes at the same time. So I think there's just some more refinement that needs to happen here, and more definition. Number 29, the Philadelphia Flyers. It kind of looks like an Allen key or an Allen wrench. I don't have one around, but that it's supposed to be in the shape of an F, and I like the little kind of almost flames or feathers or whatever coming off of wings, whatever, off of what's supposed to be a puck, I think. And that is pretty cool. I do like that, but the whole black Allen key thing coming up, it just feels a bit awkward. Number 28, the Chicago Blackhawks. And I think if we're redesigning a Blackhawks logo, we're not going with the same kind of generic look. We're not going with the Blackhawk head. We're going with something new, innovative, something that's not offensive. And this is really just another variation of the exact same logo with the head looking a different way. So I would say that this is unrealistic. Number 27, the Nashville Predators. Again, I would like to see some more refinement here, but I kind of like the idea behind this, more of a straight-on approach for Nashville's logo versus the completely sideways one. I love the intimidation in the eyes. The colors are great. I even kind of like the war paint that's on the eyes there. That's a really cool addition as well, but I think overall this is just a little bit awkward. It kind of looks like the sun or an orange or something. It's a little bit too circular. Number 26, the Seattle Kraken. So I see the big tentacle coming up. That is great. I can see the S, that the tentacle itself makes the S, and it looks like it's breaking some hockey sticks in two, which kind of make up the K for Seattle Kraken. So the idea behind this is really what's important, not so much the execution. It's kind of about realizing what the idea is and then pushing it forward in your mind to kind of see what this would look like if it was 100% refined, digitally in Illustrator or Photoshop or however you want to design it. So there's a really good idea here. I think it just needs some follow through. Number 25, the Islanders. This one kind of threw me off a little bit. I actually kind of like how it's all enclosed in this big thing. But when I saw the palm trees, I've never been to Long Island, so I don't know if there's palm trees there, but I don't think there is. And if they are there, then they would almost certainly be put there artificially. Like that's not a natural occurring tree in Long Island. So I suspect that if they are there, they've been planted manually and specifically. So when I think Long Island, I don't think palm trees. I think Florida. So I think this is very out of place for the Islanders logo. However, I kind of like the whole thing that's going on here. And also the palm trees make an N and an I for New York Islanders. Number 24, the Edmonton Oilers. So again, I can see the interpretation here. You've got the cog, which is great, and you've got the oil dripping down, and that makes up the E. So there's good reasoning here, but it's very messy at the same time. It's almost too gooey or something. There's not enough definition in the E to make it very apparent that it isn't E. You kind of have to work for it a little bit. Number 23, the Buffalo Sabres. The colors are great, obviously. You got the saber in there, but I don't know what's on the saber. It looks like two sausages. And maybe it's something else, and I'm sure it is something else, but the fact that I've just seen two sausages, I can't see anything else. So it just kind of tarnished my view of this one. Number 22, the Detroit Red Wings. I like the idea behind this. Taking the Red Wings logo, actually I'm wearing the Red Wings today. Taking the logo and making it symmetrical and balanced nicely. Right now is very, I guess, right-weighted as you're looking at it or left-weighted as you're wearing it. And that could be considered a problem design-wise. So he's taken the idea, he's flattened it out, he's balanced it on both sides. He's got the D in there from one of their other logos, obviously. So I think there's a lot of potential here. I don't know about a primary logo. It's extremely linear and flat and vertical. I think you'd run into some awkward looking jerseys if that was on the front. A shoulder patch, I think it's much more suited for a shoulder. Number 21, the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is definitely a strange logo, but I kind of like the simplistic nature of this at the same time. You can see a T in there. You can see lightning, obviously. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of symbolism, but it's very simple. I think if this was kind of reworked with a little bit more execution, maybe digitally, there's some potential here. Number 20, the Anaheim Ducks. I kind of went back and forth on this one because I know what he's going for. It looks like a duck that's wearing, a goalie mask or that famous mask. And I think if this was made digitally and it was more refined, there could be some potential there. And I kind of like that symbolism. But as it is right now, it doesn't look like a mask. It looks like a piece of paper just kind of hanging on the front of a face. So it's just kind of awkwardly placed. And also the mouth of the mask doesn't align with the mouth of the duck. And I understand why he did that, because if you did that, then it would block the beak of the duck and you wouldn't even know what was behind there. So kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't for this one. Number 19, the Carolina Hurricanes. I thought this was actually a really interesting take on the logo because you're taking the general shape of the logo, you're adjusting it a little bit, adding some more aggressiveness to it, kind of coming out in these big spurts, and then having the H and the C in there. So there's a lot of potential here. Again, more refinement. The C is crooked, the H is crooked, so maybe just spending a little bit more time making things symmetrical and uniform. Number 18, the Calgary Flames. Very simplistic logo of the Calgary Flames. And I can see the C in there, I can see the F. You got to work for it again, kind of like the Edmonton one. On the left, it's almost like a sideways tilting C where the kind of flame drop is coming out of the big one. And then just to the right of that is the F. So I can see the idea here from Edward, but I think there needs to be, this is tough when you draw it. I couldn't draw this any better even if I tried. But digitally, you can kind of make this more apparent. Work on some shading around the edges to make the C more defined, to make the F more defined. Maybe keep the other pieces a little bit natural and a little less defined, and focus the definement on the C and the F to kind of really make that a standout thing. I could see this being progressed digitally and actually looking pretty cool. Number 17, the Arizona Coyotes. Again, kind of like the Nashville one, I kind of like the approach of a head-on, face-on logo here for an animal team or an animal-themed team with the Coyotes. The mouth is very strange here. There's blue teeth and there's green teeth. I don't know what's going on there. I know there's Kachina colors being influenced in there, but still, it's just an awkward thing to have in a mouth. So I like the idea, but there's definitely some decisions that I would change for this one. But I think it has potential to be flushed out digitally. Number 16. I thought this was interesting as well. Putting not just an eagle, but an eagle head or an eagle half up or whatever a full-blown eagle. Just put him on the front, have his talons out there, have him holding a hockey stick, put some stars on him. If this was designed digitally, and I guess that's kind of the theme of this entire video, really good idea, maybe on paper, but would love to see a digital full version of this. That's kind of how I feel about this one as well. Number 15, the Vancouver Canucks. I like this one. A bit of a hidden C in the background, very simplistic with the hockey sticks, also making up the V for Vancouver. So to me, this is a shoulder patch. I don't think it would be a good primary logo on the front, but I like the attempt here, and I really like the idea. I think there's something to this one. Number 14, the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we've actually seen digital versions of something similar to this, and it's looked quite well. There's a lot of concept designers who kind of go with this design because I think it's not only simplistic, but it's easy to understand. It makes sense. And it's applicable to the team's brand and previous brands as well. It just kind of works for them. So the angle is a little awkward to me. It almost looks like you jumped out of a plane with an umbrella and the umbrella broke and it just all collapsed upward and you're just falling. That's kind of what I see, but I understand what he's going for here. Obviously, the Maple Leaf. I would just like to see maybe a more structured Maple Leaf that wasn't, kind of curled up. Number 13, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I really like this one. I think there could be a lot to this one, actually. The guy looks a little, or the penguin looks a little, it looks like he has had a few cheeseburgers. I'd like to see maybe a more muscular version of the penguin, having the hockey stick back there, pumping up some muscles so you can see his biceps, see some abs, and he's trying to interpret some aggression in the face here. And I think he's done an okay job. I understand what he's going for, but I want to see that aggression a little bit more in the face, maybe some defined eyebrows. Keeping the general structure of the triangle, which I think that was a good idea, but having the hockey stick kind of come out of it, adding some dimension to it, that was a really good idea as well. So there's a lot of thought put into this one. Maybe just some refinement like the other ones. Number 12, the Rangers. This one was good as well. I thought it was just an interesting take on a current Rangers brand, keeping the colors, keeping with a crest, but almost changing it to like a road sign or a highway sign or something. It just, I like the trees in there. I like how it's split. It looks like a route? Do I say route or route? I think I say route. Whatever. It looks like one of those signs, like Route 66 or whatever. So I like the idea behind this. That it would never work because it just doesn't make any sense to the Rangers brand. But I like conceptually, I kind of like the idea of the name and these colors put together like this. Number 11, the New Jersey Devils. And the Devils have a very good logo, but they've only really ever used the logo. And I kind of wonder if they did something modern or maybe something a little bit more subtle or simple. Maybe this would work. Just a really simple kind of dark eye coming out of the depths of like the hole of hell or something. And just having the aggression in the eye, focusing on the anger. I think that could be intimidating. Maybe not for a primary logo, but what about a shoulder patch? What do you guys think of that? Number 10, the Ottawa Senators. I actually kind of really like this one. Obviously, the logo is very undefined, but there's a lot of potential here. I love the guy just holding the shield with the big S on there for Senators, sword in hand, ready for battle. Like I could absolutely see that on the front of front of a jersey. That would look incredible. And I think if this was done digitally and with some more aggression in the face, this is a very, very promising logo. Number 9, the Dallas Stars. Love the simplicity of this. I don't know about a primary logo. I think this would be a very good shoulder patch or a secondary logo. I love the neon green in there with the inner black stroke, and then the stars just making up the inner negative space of the D. Or not negative space of the D, but the white of the D, and then the negative space being black. Slap that onto a shoulder. I think that would look very good. Number 8, the Florida Panthers. So again, kind of the Florida Panthers logo, the new one, has received a lot of criticism, and I mostly agree with it. I prefer the original. So this kind of goes back to the original, but it's not better than the original. It's just kind of a different version of it. A straight on, sticking with that animal theme, straight on animal look. It's balanced, a bit of shading, so maybe you have a dark side of the cat and a light side of the cat, and a bit of, it looks like a palm tree leaf, palm branch. I don't know what you call that. Down below there, it almost kind of makes up the water as well. So there's some coolness to this, and I like the aggression that he's put in here as well. Number 7, the LA Kings. I actually really like this. I think there's a lot of potential here. You could even make this an arena logo. Like I know they just renamed their arena, but I'm just trying to think like conceptually. If you had the bottom of this logo, which is the puck in his sense, but if you made that into the shape of the arena and then put a bit of LA Kings themed on top, kind of coming out of the top of the arena. That's kind of a silly logo. I don't know when you would ever use it, maybe an All-Star game or something. But that's what this logo kind of reminded me of. And I think it's, there's a lot of potential here, even just with what he did. There's symbolism on the puck. The puck looks good. And then that stuff just sitting right on top of the puck, it adds interest and it also adds dimension. So that's cool. Number 6, Winnipeg Jets. I don't necessarily like his execution here, but I really like his idea. Maybe not as a primary logo, but again, maybe a secondary, a shoulder patch logo. I think there's a lot to this. Putting the compass, like they're called the Jets, putting a compass-themed logo somewhere on the jersey or somewhere in their brand is kind of a missed opportunity. Have they not done that yet? So I guess they kind of do it in a way with their logo, but still, this needs to happen. Like something like this needs to happen. I really like this idea. Number 5, definitely one of my favorite logos that he's done. I think the slash covers up the B a little bit too much. I like to see maybe some tearing, individual tearing, specific tearing in the the edges of the yellow, where it's like almost ripping into the letter. Right now it's so strict and linear. It needs to have a little bit more tearage around the edges. But I like what he's going for here. Like I could see this absolutely somehow being on even the front of a jersey. I think that would look really cool. So I like his idea a lot here. Number 4, the St. Louis Blues. This is a little silly, but hear me out. The Blues don't really use a textual style logo ever in their history that was that good. So I think doing something like this, even though it's a little bit goofy, if you did it on a specialty jersey or maybe a Winter Classic or something, not as a primary logo, there's no way I would like to see this on the front of a jersey, but on a shoulder, there's potential here because I like the idea behind it. Making the general shape be the B for Blues and then having the cord come off of it and spell the rest of the letter, lose. So there's a lot of good ideas here. Again, just some execution needs to be tidied up. Number 3, you put the Vegas Golden Knights, and this is obviously very similar to their actual current logo, but I like this one a lot. I think if it was going to be redesigned, I don't think they should dramatically change it. I'm so used to the logo now, I like to see it remain a little bit similar at least, and that's kind of what he's done here, so I liked his version. Number 2, the San Jose Sharks. I think this is great. I think this has a lot of promise. I love the head-on shark just coming right at you. Like it's just swimming right at you and you can't avoid it. So I like the aggression there. The teeth look awesome. The eyes being orange look great. The broken hockey stick, he's kept a broken hockey stick in there. The shark isn't biting through it, but it's like almost falling out of his mouth. It makes up the S. It makes up the J, San Jose, and then he's got obviously the Bay Triangle in there as well. So this was actually a really good logo. I could see this on the front, but maybe more so a shoulder patch. I guess that's another little theme in this video. And number 1, I decided to put the Minnesota Wild. They've used an M logo in the past. I don't know if this is better. It's more detailed. There's more intricacies with it. There's a lot more going on, but I think this deserves the light of day. I could really see this being a shoulder patch or something because it goes right in line with their brand, right in line with their theme of their primary logo. How good would this complement that primary logo? So I think he's onto something here. I really like this one a lot. I also like the symmetry of this one and obviously the colors. So guys, let me know what you think of these logos. Like I said throughout the entire video, these are not very refined and obviously they need a lot of work, but it's hard to be super critical, like, at least for me. I've obviously said some negative things and stuff, but I can't draw very well either. So I can't be overly critical unless I knew I could do better, and I know I can. So I think it's good to provide constructive criticism. So I'd really encourage you, if you feel like leaving a negative or rude or hurtful comment towards this designer, I'd encourage you not to do that and kind of reword it better constructively and offer some really constructive opinions toward the logo and to help this designer and artist improve. And obviously we all, I do most of my designs digitally. So while maybe he's starting out drawing and not doing anything digitally, I remember when I was starting out digitally and drawing and stuff, there's a lot of learned lessons, okay? And it takes a long time to build that skill. So no one can pick up a pen or a pencil or a mouse, keyboard or whatever, and design something that is incredible from the beginning. We all learn, we all go through the process, and there is no perfect designer out there. So I appreciate the journey that Edward's on here, and I appreciate his braveness in sending them in, knowing that they might be a little bit undefined, or unrefined rather, but still willing to put himself out there, put his artwork out there for criticism and potential negative feedback from viewers, which is always a scary thing. So at the end of the day, even if you didn't like any of his designs, round of applause for braveness for Edward for putting them out there. So thanks, Edward, for sending those in. I appreciate it. If you guys want to see more designs like this on the channel, hey, come up with your own designs, send them in. I will review, react, or rank to them, have some fun. Like I said at the beginning, every Friday on the channel we do jersey concepts, and we have a lot of fun with those. So if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this content and like to see similar content in the future, please hit the subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Adios.